newest edition of the Chicago Blackhawks Central Hockey Podcast. I am Joe Vitali, and this is Skoks. Today, a pretty busy day for the league. Lots of signings, more PTOs, some administrators getting some brass getting extendo clipped. So we'll just dive into it here. Cat friend. So Tristan Leno signed with the Ducks, and so I thought, oh, he probably got drafted. This most recent one was actually the one before, second round, 53rd overall, 2022. He's 19 years old, 6'2", 189 from Trois-Rivières in Quebec, Canada. So he is French. Played with the Gatineau Olympiques QMJHL last season, which is where Savoie played. Chicago Blackhawks. Future player. And 65 games played for him, 83 points. That's great.
Awesome.
13 games in the playoffs, 17 points, over a point per game. Mainly coming in assists for both of them. So he is a
facilitator.
Yeah, he's a facilitator.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what's his position.
Tristan.
I'm trying
Tristan plays
right defense. He's a defender.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So he's getting 83 points as a defenseman. Wow.
Gotta know.
Plus 49 too, dude. This kid.
That's pretty sick. It's pretty sick.
Look out, Tristan Leno.
Yeah.
Wow.
Second round pick.
Okay. Second round pick. Yeah, 53 overall. So
good stuff.
Congratulations to him on his entry-level contract. And then Morgan Frost of the Philadelphia Flyers, centerman, first round, 27 overall in the 2017 draft.
Wow.
5'11", 170, Barrie, Ontario. He gets 2 years, $2.1 million. And his production last season, 81 games played, 46 points, -12 on a horrendous Philadelphia Flyer team.
Yeah.
Good to see he played 81 games. So 46 points. I mean, he's trending up towards 50 points. $2.1 million gets you 50 points nowadays.
Wow.
Good for them.
Yeah. And he's a player that, he's kind of been forgotten, right? 2017 first rounder, but just with the influx of talent these last few years, he's been absolutely buried. Just like league wide, right? His name really fell off. Like a few years ago, you think of Morgan Frost as one of those prospects that are going to come up and make some noise quick, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, and 2017, so he must be what age now? 24, 25? 24 possibly?
Yeah.
Or 23?
24.
Okay, 24.
1999.
24. Yeah. So upping around 50 points-ish, definitely positive for him. Just someone that you haven't really thought of the last few years, Maybe he's going to build off of this. Unfortunately, unfortunate for him, the Flyers are probably going to be bottom 2, bottom 3 teams this year. So he's going to be looked at as one of those, younger guys to watch on that team this year, at least,
Definitely.
right? Yeah.
I remember, like he was a highly touted prospect in their organization. He just took him a little while to catch on.
Yep.
I remember last season, maybe season before. I listened to the Steve Dangle podcast, so obviously they're big Leafs guys, and he played for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds.
Yep.
And that's where Kyle Dubas was a GM, and then he like loves his Sioux Greyhounds. So they were saying like, oh, maybe they should try and pry Morgan Frost from the Flyers and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So good for him. 2 years, 2.4 or $2.1 million. So it'll be
Mm-hmm.
4.2 total. And that brings us to this whopper of a contract. Well, we got two
Mm-hmm.
of them. One of them isn't official just yet,
Mm-hmm.
but so this is kind of out of the blue. Jake Sanderson
Mm-hmm.
signs Ottawa Senators, left defense, 21 years old, Whitefish, Montana,
Wow.
6'3", 195, first round, fifth overall in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So he signed for 8 years, $8.05 million.
Wow.
Uh, this is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And he played really well last season, 77 games, 32 points. I'm not entirely sure you're looking at him as a point getter, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're wanting him to be a good puck moving two-way defenseman, so he
Mm-hmm.
can get the puck up to your Tim Stützle.
Right.
You know, used to be Alex DeBrincat, but not anymore. Your
Mm-hmm.
Drake Bathersons, your Josh Norrises.
Yeah.
Get the puck up to them so that they can finish.
Mm-hmm. And um, Sanderson, Jake Sanderson, he kind of reminds me of like an Alex Vlasic that we have. He's a very good skater for his size. He's around 6'6" also, and he moves the puck very well. Not great speed, obviously, but great fluidity. Like similar to like Seth Jones, how he really like digs in, curves in the corners there. Picks up good speed going up the boards, right? Good skater. It'll be interesting. Definitely a big contract. Um, we'll see how that turns out. Some a few years down the road here.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think this is definitely a gamble.
Yeah.
With just one season under his belt.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Um, I did hear, I listened to Dropping the Gloves, and they interviewed Brady Tkachuk,
Mm-hmm.
and Brady Tkachuk could not stop talking about Jake Sanderson.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, so who's the golfer on your team?" It's like, "Oh, Jake Sanderson." Okay. Who do you think's the most underrated player on your team? He's like, "Oh, probably Jake Sanderson." And he's like, "Okay, like who is like the most fun at your wedding?" And he's like, "Oh, Jake Sanderson." So like it was just like everything was coming up Jake Sanderson. So good for him, man,
Yeah.
and good for the Senators. They're going to try and start competing here. Uh,
I,
really in a tough
yeah.
conference
Mm-hmm.
or a tough division, and they're in the Atlantic. So
Yep.
who's dropping out? Probably no one. I don't know. Good luck.
Yep.
And then they got rid of, unfortunately, a rock and a hard place with Alex DeBrincat, not really getting that much back.
Nope.
Signing Vladimir Tarasenko, which is nice.
Yeah.
He's a
It's
good
fun.
player.
Mm-hmm.
Kubelik is, good. That's, who they got.
Mm-hmm.
And did they sign uh, Hugh Suter too? Am I imagining
Um,
that?
he went to the Canucks.
Canucks. Okay,
Right.
all right, yeah. Um, I was like, all right, a Canadian team that needs centermen
Mm-hmm.
and used to play for the Blackhawks. I was like,
All of them. Right.
Vancouver, Ottawa.
Right.
So yeah, and then the other whopper of a contract that we don't know quite if it's official yet.
Mm-hmm.
Rasmus Dahlin, Buffalo Sabres, former number one overall pick.
Yep.
8 years, $10.5 million is the rumor. So really good for him. People are pretty high on Dahlin nowadays. I don't know what the certain or like what the surge has been, because like it took him a little while to get. I mean, he has arrived and he is like
Oh yeah.
borderline superstar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's, I saw someone like maybe Bleacher Nation or someone who was like, "Hey, Will, is Rasmus Dahlin going to score 100 points ever in his career.
Mm.
And like I've never known Dahlin to be an offensive guy. So
Really?
like,
Huh.
I don't know. I don't think he'll ever make 100 points in his career. Uh,
Hmm.
that's not to say that he won't, he could scratch like 75, 80, 85,
Right, right, right. Yeah,
Um, and I'm going to pull up his stats really
right.
quick.
Yeah, Darlene, he's super impressive to watch, right? Like he's 6'3", 6'4", doesn't really look like it, but you look at his measurements and he is that big.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just because of his skating, right? Or the way that he moves the puck. Like you just don't know that he's that big of a guy. And I believe he's right-handed defenseman. Or
left.
he is left.
He
Okay,
is
okay,
left. 6'3",
okay.
193, shoots
Yeah,
left.
yeah. I mean, if you wanna the perfect left-handed 1D, I mean that's your guy.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, I misspoke a bit. I mean, last season he had 73 points,
Right, right.
58 assists. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he still needs 27 more to get to that
Yeah.
100-point mark.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
And yeah, and like, if he played 4 more games, I mean,
Yeah.
you're still going to need a lot more. So, he's got 18, 19, 44 points, 40 points, 23 points, 53 points, 73 points. So
Mm-hmm.
that 20-point jump is pretty uh, significant.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, maybe he will get to 100, but at some point in his career, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe not.
Right.
I'm going to say no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's all right. If he could grow to the level of like a Roman Yossi, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be
I,
cool.
obviously, Yossi is like that super top tier offensive playmaker. I mean, shooter. I mean, he's a real good shooter. Um, I remember one game. Uh, I believe it was him. He just took it in overtime and just ripped it from like top circle, and that was it against the Hawks.
That's all she wrote.
Right. Uh, yeah. Like if Darlene grows to to that level, that would be awesome for him, right? I definitely see that happening. There's definitely potential there for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Buffalo, right? Yeah, yeah,
I mean, 30 point, another 30 points is kind of a lot to ask.
yeah. Right,
But, and you got Owen Power there too,
right.
Matthias Samuelson to like a much, much lesser degree, but still a serviceable defenseman. So,
Hmm.
Owen Power, he's a really good player.
Oh
And
yeah.
so, Darlene is obviously that number one
Hmm.
defenseman, but like Power is right behind him. So
Yep.
he doesn't necessarily need to be like that guy,
Hmm.
even though currently he is, and for the foreseeable future, I assume he will be as well.
Yep. Hmm. Oh, and really quick on the contract front, there's also rumors of Anaheim's Trevor Zegras uh, in the near future here, probably tomorrow or Friday, right? Um, the contract probably will get done. The reports are on a smaller bridge deal, right? And I think that's what we all expected, you know, for his first contract out of his ELC. And I think that would be good for Zegras, right? Just have a little bridge for now.
Yes, it seems like all the kiddos are going a little shorter term. Well, not all
Hmm.
of them. Jack Hughes signed like 8 years, and
Yeah, right.
Rasmus Dahlin's he's still young, and Sanderson 8 years.
Hmm.
But it seems like those bridges are like probably like 2 years,
Hmm.
and just they want to get more money in the system so that they can get paid more
Yeah.
with the cap going up next season, probably in like the $4 to $6 million range. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good for him. I heard also that the Senators and Shane Pinto
Mm-hmm.
are way off on
Really?
everything, dollar
Wow.
amount, term,
Mm-hmm.
you name it. They're not. It's not working out. So
Wow.
keep an eye on that because Shane
Yeah.
Pinto's a great player.
Yeah. And he's an RFA, right?
Right,
So how would, like, say the Hawks were interested, right?
right.
How would we get a deal done if he declines to agree with Ottawa?
So we sort of kind of went through this with Caleb Jones because Caleb Jones
Right.
was RFA.
Okay.
And so there was just like a time where it was like, yeah, we're not bringing you back.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go test the open market. And then he
Right.
signed with Carolina. But I
Right.
believe you still need the team's permission. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, Ottawa is probably not going to just be like, all right, well, Shane, nice knowing you. See you later.
Yeah. Definitely
They're,
not.
they're
No.
going to want to get something out of it. So then they would trade his rights to the Blackhawks, and then the
Mm.
Blackhawks would have to pay
Uh,
whatever the ask.
Capital.
Third round pick, second round pick. I'm
Oh,
not
I see.
I'm not really sure. With
Yeah.
rights, it's never like a substantial. You're not going a
Mhm.
first, a prospect,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever. So if the Hawks would just have to toss probably. I mean, I think Hawks got like 5 second round picks next season or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so maybe toss one of those their way,
Mm-hmm.
the Senators' way to grab them. No, I
Yeah.
lied. It's next year, round two, three.
Oh, okay.
three
Okay.
three second round picks, two third round picks.
Yeah. That's still an extreme amount of capital, right? I mean,
Right.
that's unbelievable.
I was probably thinking of last season. I think last season they had like 4 or 5 second round picks.
Right. Yeah. 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 It was like three or four picks. It was nuts. It
Yeah, it
was
was a lot. It
crazy.
was, it was like, whoa, that's so.
Yeah.
Picking this round is the Chicago Blackhawks, and that's it. See you next round.
Right.
um,
Oh wow.
So yeah, so I think it'd be something along those lines.
Yeah.
Maybe even I mean, we could toss him a player. We've got like a plethora of bottom
Right.
six guys. Like, oh, you want Reese Johnson? See ya.
Right.
You
Yeah.
want Mackenzie Entwistle? See ya. You
Right.
can Boris Kachu, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Attach a player and a pick, and thanks. See you later. Welcome to Chicago, Shane Pinto.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
that's it for player signings.
Mm-hmm.
There's some coaching signings.
Mm-hmm.
Doug Wilson, famed Blackhawk,
Mm-hmm. Right.
he signed. So he was having some health problems and stepped away as the GM of the San Jose Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's gotten his health back under him, and he wants to work again. And so he is a special advisor to the GM and president of hockey operations in Pittsburgh, Kyle
Mm-hmm.
Dubas. So good for him.
Yeah.
Glad he, obviously it is still the old boys club, and
Yep.
everyone's just shuffling around. So I'd like to get some new blood in there, and we have
Right.
with Kyle Davidson and the GM in San Jose currently is escaping me. He's bald.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Um. I don't remember, but
Mike Greer.
he's right.
There we
Right.
go. So you're getting some, your Kent Hughes and all those
Mhm.
types of guys, Bill Zito,
Yeah.
agents turn GMs and stuff. So we're getting some new blood in there.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much of an old boys club, but uh, this particular one is an old boys club signing, and good for him.
Yeah.
And then Bill
Hawks Legend, though.
Armstrong,
Yeah.
yeah, Hawks legend,
Yeah.
Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Right.
Just got inducted two cycles ago.
Yes. It was recent. Yep. Yep.
Man, that's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah.
I think he
Good
was
for Doug.
waiting like 24 years or something.
That's insane.
He was waiting a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, and then in Arizona, Bill Armstrong.
Hmm.
He re-upped 2 years, I want to say.
Um, it did not say on the term, but
Oh,
I
okay,
think I did see a shorter term like that. So I think that is
cool.
right. Yeah.
So at least at least he knows he has a job if the and he'll go with the Coyotes if they get relocated.
Hmm.
They
Right.
got that they made that intention to buy land in Mesa, Arizona,
Hmm.
for their arena,
Hmm.
and because they're still playing out of a college rink,
Right.
and so at least he has job security. So
Hmm.
if it's the league forces Arizona to sell the team and relocate them to, like, say, a Salt Lake City,
Wow.
he's going with. He's still going to be the
Yeah.
GM of that team. So
Hmm.
uh, good for him. And then OHL news.
Hmm.
Bruce, there it is. Bruce Boudreau
Yep.
signs on as a uh, just like a an advisor again.
Yeah.
For the Niagara Ice Dogs.
Hmm.
His son is an assistant coach of the Niagara Ice
Oh.
Dogs. So there's that little, and then I believe it's also um, his mom, Bruce Boudreau's mom,
Hmm.
lives near where the Niagara Ice Dogs play. So he's just going to be hanging out with his mom and his son. Good for him.
Yeah.
He went through the ringer last
Hmm.
season with the Canucks. That was so weird.
Oh yeah.
Beloved coach, successful coach,
Yeah.
and then, like, the owners are just like toying with him,
Yeah.
like
It was rough.
GM and stuff. Yeah, it was just weird situation that you hate
Yeah.
to see a guy like Bruce Boudreau go through.
Hmm. And I remember seeing the interviews post game, right?
Yeah,
And he is like pretty much like shedding a tear, you know, while talking um, in the interview. Whether he's still going to be there, whether he's being let go. I mean, it was crazy for Bruce.
yeah,
That's
that was
rough.
that was an absolute circus.
Yeah, that was
It was a
nuts.
clown show, no
Yep.
doubt.
Hmm.
Uh,
Let's see here, and I can move on to the Ice Hogs if you want to cover it.
yeah,
There's so we have some preseason news for the Hogs, right? Preseason action starts October 4th when the Ice Hogs take on the Iowa Wild. That's our common enemy
it's a rivalry game for sure.
during September. Preseason, early season games are always against the Wild. It's how it works. Um, at the newly renovated Riverview Ice House, tickets start at $15, and they are available starting on Friday. But this is going to be at the Riverview Ice House, so that's a neutral site. That's cool, definitely.
Yeah, owned by the Park District, shut down, and $9 million in renovations were had.
Hmm.
Um, so it was to get that arena up to speed for an AHL team.
Yeah.
So they needed like curved glass on near the boards so
Hmm.
that guys don't get killed.
Yeah.
I think they needed new dasher boards that were just better quality, and 600 seats, which isn't really a lot.
No.
Um, so intimate venue could be a fun experience. Maybe
Yeah.
grab the kids and get on down there. I think it's just cool um, to have like a park district hosting an AHL game.
Hmm. Right. And a little more AHL centered stuff here. If you're interested in checking out the Ice Hogs, right? Um, Regular season per season, so a single season package for one team, home and away games is $65.
This is
So
for the AHL TV, correct?
AHL TV, right?
Nice. So you can watch your favorite team.
Yeah, Because if you're using a secondary source, right, as in some streaming websites, AHL TV is they're very secure with their broadcasts, and you're not allowed to pick up their stream, right, of the game to check out Doc, Del Mastro, Nolan Allen. I mean, the boys are here now. The boys are in town. The
Yeah,
boys are back in town.
the boys are back.
And when Bedard and the Hawks are not on uh, one night, or if the schedule isn't on at the same time, you want to check out the youngsters. That's $65 for one team home and away. Little pricey, right? I mean, that's asking a lot. I mean, this is almost $70 for. I mean, just a season for one team, especially. That's it's interesting. Yeah, so something
Yeah,
to keep an eye on. Yeah.
definitely.
Hmm.
I went to one Rockford Ice Hogs game at the
Hmm.
BMO. Cool time.
Yeah.
They have like a soup booth, which I think is pretty interesting.
Really.
Yeah, you can like go there and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go get some soup. You know, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go grab a Bush Light and some soup.
Wow.
Um, so I was just yeah, go Hogs.
Right.
There were a
Hmm.
couple more PTOs signed
Hmm.
today as
Right.
well. Jumping back to the NHL action.
Hmm.
So speaking of those Arizona Coyotes, they signed two players to PTOs.
Hmm.
Peter De La Torre. He is a left defenseman. He is 23 years old.
Hmm.
I know nothing about this guy.
Yeah.
5'11", 160, Bedford, Nova Scotia,
Wow.
drafted by the Vegas Golden Knights in the sixth round, 180th overall, 2018.
Hmm.
Um, so he's played for, oh, he was at Quinnipiac.
Oh, really? The
Yeah, so
Stunner team.
yeah, most recent Frozen Four champions, right?
Yeah. Right.
Nice.
Yeah. Definitely.
So
That's
he went there
crazy.
for 3 years, played in Henderson for 3 years as well.
Uh-huh.
Um, 20 points in the AHL, nothing crazy.
Hmm.
Played in the Coast for a little bit. Got loaned to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, and then went to the Wheeling Nailers, and then the Savannah Ghost Pirates.
Wow. Savannah.
Yeah, go catch a Savannah Bananas game.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, I think that's a non-factor. I don't think he'll ever play in the NHL,
Yeah. Not sure. Not
unfortunately.
sure. Hmm.
Looks like, and then Wheaton's own Ryan Dzingel
Hmm.
signed. He is 31 already. Wow,
Wow.
that's wild.
Yeah.
I still think of him as kind of a kid.
Yeah.
Forward, left wing, right wing, center, 31 years old,
Hmm.
6 foot, 190 pounds. He played for the Chicago Wolves last season.
Yeah. Hmm.
11 games and 22 points, exactly a point 0.5 points per game,
Hmm.
+5. So good for him.
Yeah. Cool.
Getting another kick at the can. And that's awesome.
Yeah. Stayed in town last year. Uh, I do remember him playing for the Wolves because when I tuned in for Reichel playing on the Hogs, then
Yes.
we see Mister Dzingel in on the Wolves, and that was weird, but it's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to more Wolves
Right.
games than I have Ice Hogs games.
Hmm.
Those are good times at the Allstate Arena.
Yeah.
And yeah, went during like $2 beer night, I think it was.
Yep. They do have that.
Great
Right.
time.
Hmm. Um.
And
One more interesting signing with the
yeah,
or not signing, but tryout, right? PTO with the Kings, someone that we brought up as a possible depth option in net, Jean Francois Berube, uh, 32 years old now, and they're just bringing in some depth there because the Kings are. I mean, it is rough. I know we went over it a few weeks ago, the goaltending, and they have, I believe it's Cam Talbot and
Phoenix Copley.
Phoenix Copley. I mean, and you're trying to make a run, after making a move for like PLD Dubois, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have nothing figured out in net as a solid rotation. I mean, I wouldn't call Cam Talbot and Copley solid rotation at all.
No, no, I wouldn't at all.
No, that's gonna spell some problems for them down the road. Definitely this year. Definitely.
Yeah, and then a couple more PTOs. This
Mhm.
one I want to put the spotlight on Danton Heinen,
Right.
left wing, right wing, 28 years old
Hmm.
with Boston. So he's coming back to Boston. I forgot he went from Boston to Anaheim to Pittsburgh. Now he's back in Boston.
Wow.
I've seen his player card, like the J Fresh player card,
Hmm.
plastered all over Twitter today. He's got an 84% wins above replacement percentage.
Wow.
He's a good player,
Yeah.
great middle six guy, probably like the perfect third line winger.
Hmm.
Could honestly even play second line wing minutes. And I'm
Really.
really, really surprised that this kid did not get a legitimate contract. He has to go for a PTO.
Hmm.
He's going to be a great, great addition to that Boston Bruins team. Um, and I think he can chuck them too. I think he likes to chuck them. So
Yeah.
not only does he drive play and he passes well, I'm not much of a finisher.
Hmm.
The mitts aren't like really silky. He's not like really skilled in that way, but uh, he'll drop the gloves.
Hmm.
6'1", 188, shoots left. Last season he had 22 points in 65 games played.
Hmm.
His highest point total was 47
Okay.
for the Bruins in 17-18. So like almost 50 points in
Hmm.
77 games played. Like, yes, sign me up.
Yeah.
So
That's definitely solid. Middle six type of guy, and the Bruins, right?
yeah,
They definitely need bodies that can play
they do.
solid roles. They need players, and they need them now. Definitely.
Definitely. And then CBJ added another one, Stefan Matteau.
Hmm.
He played, I want to say he played for the Wolves as well.
Hmm.
Everything's coming up Wolves right now. It's kind of weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chicago Wolves, 17, 18, 18, 19. He spent last season in the SHL and the DEL. So
Hmm.
he played 16 games in the SHL for 1 assist. Yikes. And then
Wow.
in the DEL, 19 games played for 20 points.
Hmm.
So um, he's given North American hockey another kick at the can. Good for him. Don't know much
Hmm.
anything else about him. And then
No.
rounding out the signings, we
Hmm.
went over Jean-Francois Berube, and then
Hmm.
Noah Gregor is a
Yeah.
left wing, right wing, 25 years old, was on the San Jose Sharks. He is 6', 185. He shoots left. Uh,
Hmm.
Last season, 57 games played for 17 points, 32 PIMs.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to see if he chucks them. If he can't play, does he
Yeah.
chuck them? No. So
No.
the Toronto Maple Leafs continue to sign players that they cannot afford.
Hmm.
I don't get it, but I really, honestly, man, I don't know what they're going to do because they can put the defenseman whose name escapes me right now on
Hmm.
LTIR, and Jake Muzzin. They'll put him
Muzzin, right?
on LTIR, and they'll put um, the goalie Matt Murray on LTIR. That gives them like around $10.5 million in LTIR relief. but I think they're like
Yeah.
13 over the cap, so they're gonna have to get rid of like $4 million, and I don't know who they're going to sacrifice. Like really, truly,
Yeah.
like
I
you
mean,
gotta re-sign Willie, or you gotta trade him. And what package are you going to get that's going to make you better and get rid of William Nylander?
uh huh.
Get rid of TJ Brody. TJ Brody is probably their best defenseman. You know,
Okay.
I mean, like
Uh,
Morgan Riley is their highest paid one, but
yeah.
he's good, little offensive
Right.
touch, but I'm like defensive
Oh.
defenseman.
Okay. 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 Right. Right.
I
Yeah.
think TJ Brody is your guy,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
losing him is going to make your team worse, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Especially
Definitely.
when you've got Joseph Wall and Ilya Samsonov as your
Hmm.
goaltenders. No disrespect to them, but those aren't like it's not Connor Hellebuck. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not Corey Crawford. It's not.
No.
It's not these. Uh, you know, world beater goaltenders, Shesterkin,
Hmm.
Sorokin, whatever. But
Yeah. Or even like a Gibson. Like
yeah,
you're trying to contend and you're not you're not constructed to contend. I mean, the the construction, yeah, roster construction is just not sound.
yeah. I mean, maybe they get
Yeah.
rid of like Jake McCabe,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
and maybe someone else. I think they signed that one kid, Connor Timmins. I think they signed
Hmm.
him to like 1.5 million, and he hasn't played a game because he's been injury ridden. Maybe they
Right.
can get rid of those two guys or something. They won't really impact their lineup too much, but
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Don't envy
Um.
Brad Treliving's job.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Definitely. Just wrapping up the episode. Pretty much how we do every time. Little Bedard content. So a couple reporters from the Upper Deck NHLPA Rookie Showcase. So they're getting a lot of headshots, a lot of action shots for the trading cards with their official team uniforms. And can't wait for that to officially release.
Yeah.
But they do have some on ice content. We have it reposted on the account. A clip of Bedard just like getting a quick assist, in a little scrimmage, and a clip of him just taking a wrist shot, open net. I think he misses, hits the glass. But hey, we just like seeing that quick release. He's just messing around. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, the rookie showcase put on by Upper Deck and the NHLPA,
Right.
it is there's no competitiveness about it. It's
No,
just
no, not
a
at
bunch
all.
of kids having fun
Yeah,
and
just skating circles.
right, getting your picks for your hockey
Mm.
cards.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It's
Pretty
awesome.
sick.
I didn't like I wasn't obviously like they got to get that picture somehow, but I didn't
Yeah,
realize that this was the avenue that they did that. So that's really
yeah.
cool.
Never
That's really
knew.
interesting. But yeah, definitely check out our Twitter. We've got
Mm.
tons of Bedard content
Yep.
up on there. Anytime Connor Bedard is on the ice in a Blackhawks uniform with a hockey stick in his hands, we will retweet
Oh
it.
yeah, and Kevin Korchinski is also there in
Right.
attendance with him, so that's even. I
Yeah.
mean, this can't get any better.
Hawks have been releasing on their social media like up next or
Right.
now arrived, and
Hmm.
it's Korchinski, Ludwinski,
Hmm.
Bedard,
Del
Del
Mastro's
Mastro,
there.
yeah,
Gavin Hayes.
Gavin
That's.
Hayes, yeah. It's exciting time to be a Blackhawks fan right now
Hmm.
because this wave of talent. This is the first wave,
Yeah, this is the first
and
wave. Hmm.
it's going to be great.
Hmm.
So thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching and listening to the Chicago Blackhawks Central Hockey Podcast. I'm Joe Vitali. That is Skoks. Let's go Hawks. Bedard season.
Let's go Hawks.